Hey everybody, Kelly Engineering here, and welcome to episode 38 of Journey Across the Void. In between episodes, I was working in Calibre, and don't worry, this is not another episode about Calibre. But yeah, I was building up the rooms to try to find a look that I like, and I think I found it. It's still kind of plain looking, and this room is certainly not as bright as I would like it to be. Once night vision goes away, you'll see what I mean. It looks good with night vision enabled, but yeah, it's still too dark, and I need to fix that. So I put in, if I could find them, right here, painted glowstone in the floor, and it works, but it's still putting out a really weird look. Like up here at the top isn't bright enough. I'm debating whether or not to put in more dynamic lights up here at the top. So yeah, Calibre continues to be a different challenge altogether in ways that I did not expect. So yeah, this is Calibre for now, but we're not going to be focused on that in this episode. We're going to be focused on actually addition. So we're going to have to move to another floor, and that floor is floor 4. So over here on floor 4, the actually additions floor, I should probably reapply. Here we go. So on the actually additions floor, we are going to put in all of the actually addition stuff. We're going to have multiple canola farms. We're going to have multiple Canola Power setups, and every single one of the empowers, and I'm only going to need 8 of them, I believe, are going to be set up in this room, or at least half of this room, and I don't know what's going to take up the other half. Yeah, without any further ado, let's get to it. So right here are the seeds I'm going to be using. There are 8 of them right now, and I think this is really all I'm going to need for atomic reconstructors. So I have 10, 10, 10 to every single one of these. The canola seeds, I'm going to have a massive canola farm, but I want a canola seed right here because this is the atomic reconstructor area, and atomic reconstructor will turn canola seeds into crystallized canola seeds, and the crystallized canola seeds are going to help me refine all of the canola oil I need to power this entire setup. So yes, I'm going to have all of this going at the same time. The reason why I have quartz here is because this is going to make me prismarine, and prismarine is going to be needed for all of my empowering setups later on. So this is actually a little too small for me. I was doing some work in a creative world on how to set all of this up, and it took quite a while, but the farmer only works, the actually additions farmer block, only works in a 9x9 area. So I was debating whether or not to take all 3 of the, this entire 3x3 area and just fit it into a 9x9 area. I mean, I only have 8 of them, so I can definitely make that work. But, no, I think I'm going to make a 9x9 for everything and make up the back area. Yeah, the farm area is going to make up the back area of this entire floor, so that problem is solved. So I'm going to go set all of this up and then make all of the atomic reconstructors, and I'm not going to power them just yet because the next thing we need to work on is all of our canola power. So I have my farm area set up a little bit, and I've moved all of the seeds over. I've also made some dye seeds. The reason why I did this is because looking at the empowerer recipes, I'm going to need red dye and blue dye and cyan dye in order to set up auto crafting of all of the empowered items. So I have that just as a safeguard. This plot over here is going to be used to make the all of the other extraneous stuff like the clay and the brick I'm going to need. But the real stuff I'm going to be working on in this episode are the canola farms. So what I need to do is each of these farms is going to be sent to a whole bunch of canola squeezers, and then the seeds are going to be stockpiled as well to move over to an auto empower type setup. The reason being is because these canola seeds do have a recipe in the empowerer to make empowered canola seeds. The empowered canola seeds are going to be required in order to make the next tier of canola oil, and then after that we're going to need those to make the last tier of canola oils. That's what all 3 of these are going to be for. I'm not sure how I'm going to set up all of the canola presses. They're probably going to be, yeah, right along this wall, but basically I have this entire area set out in order to take care of all of my oil needs. Honestly, it's been a while since I have recorded for this episode. I actually just completed episode 39. So yeah, I've completely forgotten what I went over for episode 38. And I don't know if I went over the fact that I want to use everything actually additions and limit the amount of things that I use from other mods. So when it comes to auto crafting this dye, and once again I'm drifting around, but when it comes to auto crafting this dye, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. Actually Additions doesn't have a crafter per se. So yeah, I'm gonna have to find some way to auto craft the dye. Either that or just break my rule immediately, use an RF Tools crafter, and be happy with that. But that's perfectly fine. I'm going to make a whole bunch of canola presses, and we are going to be using item laser relays in order to transfer all of the canola that farmer blocks are going to be taking care of into the canola presses. So I have set up my canola presses and realized that I have a problem. Looking over all of the actually addition stuff, there is not an energy storage block, there is not a fluid storage block, and other than the crates, there's no item storage block. So I'm going to be making a metric butt ton of canola in order to go into the system, and yeah, I have nowhere to store it other than crates. I have nowhere to store all of the fluid. All 3 fluids I'm going to have to be making, or I'm sorry, all 4 fluids that I want to make. So I'm looking over the trials thing again. It says, note that the trials are designed in a way that they should be completed with the concepts of Minecraft and actually additions alone. Well, I just can't do that. Not with the assortment of stuff that I have available to me. I'm going to try to keep it as close as possible. Like when I'm making my empowered oil and when I'm making my crystallized oil, I will be using fluid placers and fluid collectors, stuff like that. But when it comes to the storage of all of these items, I'm going to have to make another AE2 system. I've also run into the issue that I completely forgot about. The canola presses require power by themselves. So I'm going to have to set up a separate power system, probably using this coal generator over here. Yeah, this coal generator I'm going to place over there and at least get 2 of my canola presses powered up and processing canola. I went through this farm twice, and this is the amount of stuff that I got. More than enough seeds, probably... Yeah, more seeds than I'm going to need, even with the crystallizing and empowering process. So... yeah, that's fine. We can perfectly work with that. I'm going to set up a coal generator, start getting some oil generated for me, and actually this is a perfect opportunity to go into something new with AE2. Now, I have set up an ME system, a very basic ME system for all of the actually addition stuff. I'll hook it into the main network up top soon enough, but what I want to go over is fluid storage components. We're going to be using fluid storage components to house all of our oil. And geez, there's just so much stuff. So first we got to start with the 1K ME storage components. Need to make sure that the quest completes for all that. Regardless, I'm going to make 3 of these, and we're just going to move on our way up. The fluid storage components work the exact same way as regular storage components, only of course they store fluids. In order to access them though, you're going to need a fluid... where are you? Here we go, a ME fluid terminal. So I'm going to hook that up right here. We'll get it looking all nice and pretty later, but... so looking in the crafting terminal, I'm only going to see items. Looking in the fluid terminal, I'm going to see all of the fluids. Once I have fluids inserted into the components, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up an AE2 wireless network. And any fluid that comes out of my canola presses, and then eventually my empowers, and then eventually my fluid collectors and fluid placers, all of that stuff is going to be via a wireless network inserted into my fluid storage components. That is a long ways away though. I just wanted to go over that is how we're going to handle the storage of all of our fluids. Now inside my canola presses, I've already put in some canola seeds, and yeah, there's only 2 buckets worth of canola oil able to be held inside the canola press, so we need to figure this out quickly, or else we're going to be wasting power. The next thing that we're going to create are the wireless connectors. I am going to craft 2 of them for now, and throughout this setup I'm going to definitely need to connect more. But for now, we need to make the wireless setup kit as well. So network tool and wireless setup. Here we go. So what I am going to do is I'm going to place this wireless right... yeah, right here works. And we're going to place another one over here by the ME system, connected up to power. And, oh, these things don't... I could swear these required power. Anyway, right now this is bound. I'm going to bound this one over here. And you see that there's a blue line whenever I'm looking at it. That's because this is connected all the way. So this will draw more power from my ME system. And depending on how far... yeah, see, look at that. I've already... wait, how the heck is that possible? I'm using fusion reactor. I have more than... this entire session since I've powered up the pack has been acting very weird. My fusion reactor should still be working, no problem. And it's not, son of a... I don't think I have ever seen this before. The fusion reactor is back up and running, but so long as the wireless connector is here, it siphons all power from this ME system. I have more than enough power to make up for the amount of distance between both wireless connectors. I do not know why this is happening. Well, shoot, back to the drawing board. You know, I don't think I have ever broken my only using items from a certain mod rule so quickly as I have with actually additions. I am using ender tanks, and I'm going to severely limit the amount of ender tanks I use in this system, and this is really just a proof of concept anyway. The next item I'm going to need is a fluid import bus. Here we go. So a fluid import bus, gonna set that right here and connect it with a ME glass cable. There we go. It is connected, and look at that. We have canola oil flowing in to my fluid, or at least to my fluid. Wow, that just increased speed dramatically. Yeah, my fluid import bus is taking all of the canola oil and throwing it into the system. Like I said, I cannot see the canola oil from the standard ME terminal. I have to use the fluid terminal in order to see it. I'm going to stop it immediately because I don't want too much canola oil inside this system. This canola oil is going to go into the next item I'm going to set up, or at least the next thing I'm going to set up. So if I am going to get all of my... oh, that may not be close enough. There it is. So if I'm going to get all these canola farms up and running, I'm going to need Inori crystal blocks. The reason why I need the Inori crystal is because I need to make the farmer. The farmer block handles a 9x9 area by default, and I need iron casings as well. Son of a gun. I'm only going to need a couple of them. So, yep, we're going to make farmer blocks, and I'm going to place it right... I'm going to remove the lighting from the area, but we're going to place it right here. Oh, and I've been dealing with industrial foregoing too much. Here we go. Let's set you up. And now, if this thing is supplied with power, it will start taking all of the canola oil from this. So let's give it some power real quick. Here we go. All right, it has power. This now has power, and you can see it is handling the stuff with AgriCraft just fine. It is taking all of the canola and the seeds, putting it in here, and once it's full, it's going to stop working. So I need to handle where it's going to be output very quickly, which means we need to make a laser relay. So the item relays, oh, I need to make a fluid relay first, or I need to make an energy relay first. I have all of this, and the Restonia is in this ME system. So what these relays are going to do for me is they're going to allow me to transfer energy, or they're going to allow me to transfer items or fluid from one location to another, so long as it is 16 blocks away. They can be upgraded to handle more than 16 blocks, but the book stresses that this and the phantom faces are not supposed to be a substitute for like a dimensional transceiver or a quantum entangle porter, things like that. So I'm going to immediately turn the energy relays, 1, 2, 3, 4, into the fluid, and then we're going to turn them into the item. Oh, there we go. So now that they are item relays, all I have to do is place this on top, put it on top here, and I need to make the relay wrench. So the relay wrench is super simple to make. Oh. I could swear it was called the relay wrench. Yeah, laser wrench. Here we go. Alright, the laser wrench is super simple to make. I just need to make some nori real quick. Wham bam. Alright, so shift right click where I want. Laser has been stored. And now, items that are in the farmer should be transported. Did I do this backwards? I probably did this backwards. So I realized what my problem was. With the item laser relays, it's not enough to just have them connected from one point to the other. With the fluid relays and the energy relays, that works just fine. With the item laser relays, I'm going to need an item interface. It's going to create a network for me that it can pull from. So if I put the interface in place of where I have this advanced ESD, then I can place the item relay on top of that. The interface will pull from my farmer and then allow the item relay to transfer over here. I'm going to do that real quick, but first I want to explain what the advanced ESD is. Sorry about the awkward cut. The heater turned on and it is a little loud right now. Welcome to New England winters. But the ESD, and I have no idea what it stands for. If you look up at the top, every once in a while it'll change what it actually stands for. So right now it's Energetic Solo Dancer, and then it's going to change to Efficient Sucking Dilettante. Anyway, the ESD and the advanced ESD that I'm using right now are basically directional hoppers. So I have this advanced ESD looking at the west face, and the west face is my farmer. So it is seeing that there are 12 slots in that farmer, and you can set up, so it's by default 0 to 12. I've set it up to 7 to 12 because I only want it looking in slots 7 through 12. And then I have it outputting to this storage crate right here. So there are 117 total slots. Now it's not enough just to choose what the inbound and outbound slots are. You also have to add a whitelist if you are using the advanced ESD. The basic ESD doesn't even have the filters on it. This is unique to the advanced. So yeah, it just makes sense to use the advanced ESD anyway. But in order to get them to work, you have to have stuff inside the whitelists. So I want Canola and Canola Seeds exiting the inbound face, my farmer, and I want Canola and Canola Seeds entering my eastbound face, or the storage crate. If these were not filled in, then nothing would transfer. So yeah, it's just, pardon me. So you have to make sure that that is set up properly. Also, this is a little weird to look at. The whitelist takes up all of these slots. So all 12 of these slots are the whitelist. You don't have to worry about only having 3 slots for your inbound and outbound. Figured I'd just say that for posterity's sake. And I also discovered something about the farmer I don't like. It is not picking up anything right now, but you see that it is still harvesting all of the canola. So it does not realize that its inventory is full. That's not going to stop it from working. That's a waste of items, and that is a waste of energy. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of that, and I may need to add it. Can this even be redstone controlled? I'm not sure that this can be redstone controlled. Let's put on a lever just to test. So I have mostly with actually additions, I just use the storage crates and be done with it. I rarely ever empower something unless absolutely necessary. Let's see here. Yep, it appears that the lever stopped it from working. So this can be redstone controlled. That's good to know. But yeah, this is why I'm going to such great lengths in order to set up something from actually additions, or a large actually additions, set up for power and empowering. So yeah, it's just it's more like a challenge for me because I don't have the experience with it. But I'm going to make that advanced item interface, or the item interface rather, and set it here instead of this small storage crate, or maybe set it on top of. No, I can't set it on top of the farmer. I put the light back, so I don't have the room for it. Yeah, I'm going to use the ESD and an item interface to try to get all of my canola and seeds into this medium storage crate. And here it is. This is the item interface. So if I can't open the item interface, but I do have the relay on top of it. If I look at the ESD, I had to refresh it, so it was on the east face. I just moved it to north and then moved it back to east, and it recognized that there are 234 slots that I can go into on the outside. So those 234 slots correlate to my medium storage crate. But nothing, as you just saw, is going into here by default. That's because I have the lever actuated on my farmer. So if I turn the farm back on, you see it's still going, and items are now transferring into my medium storage crate. So that is good to know, that if you do have this redstone controlled, the farmer needs to be on in order for the ESD to see that there's something it can pull from that side. I guess redstone control, turning it off, means that each side of the farmer is no longer a slot that it can pull from. So yeah, that's good to know. And I have my item interfaces, which means I have all of my items going in here, and I can put all of my canola into my canola presses. But that's something I'm going to do in between episodes. This episode took a little longer than I thought it would to set up, and that's mostly because of my unfamiliarity with actually additions and the little snafu I had with the wireless connector. So I'm going to do some reading in between episodes. Before I close out the episode, I'd like to thank all of you for your well wishes for my grandmother's passing, and for allowing me a week off to grieve. But I have a month off at this point. From now until December 1st, I am free as a bird. I have no work that I need to do, so I can dedicate all of that time to putting out Minecraft videos. The Ender Utilities mod spotlight is almost done, so you can expect that probably in about a week. But yeah, I am Kelly Engineering. I hope that you did enjoy this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.